So today seems to be a day of feelings. First Yashahime and now Ruby. I am in my feelings. Hi guys, my name is Maria Park and this is Approach to Nerd. In this episode, we are reviewing RWBY, episode 13 of volume 8, entitled Worthy. And oh, this episode, guys. Let's start with the least important character, the one that should always die. That would be Harriet. So they were all being restrained because Mero had told them to stop, so they couldn't like move in the last episode. Well, of course, Arthur does something, and I'll get to what Arthur's involvement is in a minute, but he does something to rock the boat. Mero tries to defend the group from an incoming attack or missiles or something like that, and caused by Arthur, and gets knocked out. So now everybody's able to move. And of course, Harriet, the piece of crap and waste of space that she is, takes this opportunity to jump in the plane with the payload, because why would it not be Harriet? Honestly, the best course of action for this is for Harriet to blow up out in the hemisphere somewhere, our stratosphere, or outer space for all I care, with the payload. And it's interesting because Vine tries to stop her. He hitches a ride and tries to stop her and says, you're wrong. And of course she said, well, Clover would have done this, and Clover. We understand you had the hots for Clover. We understand that Clover was your whatever, your inspiration for all, but that doesn't mean you have to be a flaming bee. So she even tried to kill Vine. She literally tried to push him off the plane. I dislike this woman more than any other character. You guys already know it, but I just wanted to go ahead and get the Harriet out of the room so I don't have to go back to her, because I don't want to go back to her because she sucks. So basically the payload may be dropped by Harriet because she's just a bad person. And Arthur is also controlling everything. So he put the plane back on autopilot when, she was manually doing it, because Robin is trying to stop her. She got into another ship, and I hope Robin does get to her. But right now, Crow, he busts through the window of the plane, and he's finally giving her that fight she wants. And I want him to give her that fight that pretty much results in her death. So either way, either she gets blown up or Crow kills her. I'm completely okay with both of those scenarios. So yeah, that's what's happening with Team Robin and Crow. Team RWBY is trying to get Penny, basically following through their plan, trying to move her over and rendezvous with Team Jacques, Team John's team, which I like their plan. Their plan is beautifully, constructed. The only thing they didn't think about was Cinder, and which is I said she was going to mess it up. In the last episode, we saw her standing there with her little cloak on, looking like she's like a refugee Jedi. And of course, the poop hits the fan, because what happened was Neo did give her Jin after Cinder gave her this heartfelt apology about not delivering her Ruby Rose and holding up her, end of the bargain. And so she asked Jin a question, and the question that she asked is, what is basically Team RWBY and Co planning? And Jin had to show her, so they know every minute detail of their plan, and now they're effing everything up, because that is what these characters do. So Cinder, Arthur, and Neo are effing everything up, and so they basically start fighting. Unfortunately, when Neo is trying to attack Ruby, because she was incognito as another, dressed as somebody else, she had a wig on or whatever, incognito, and she comes out and she's getting ready to slash Ruby. Yang sees it and jumps in the way, and basically gets tossed off of the platform into, God, I don't even know what's at the bottom of this thing. And unfortunately, that means that we don't know if she's alive or dead. The scene where Blake is running to catch her, like she throws her grappling hook down and it misses her foot. And you just see Yang just, like, her eyes are open and you see her just fall into darkness, and like Blake like loses it. And then she starts fighting Neo. Weiss is challenging Cinder, and Penny comes to help. And Blake's kind of in the middle. You got Ruby fighting Neo, and then Weiss and Penny fighting Cinder, and they're not doing as well. And Blake's just standing there like, I don't know what to do. I don't know which way to go, because normally my girlfriend's here, and so we can even out, but she's not here. So it's sad. It is really sad. Now that Arthur has full control of all of the systems, he's living his best life, doing whatever he wants now. And he let Ironwood go. And Ironwood, the first thing he did was get his weapons. And then, of course, Daddy Snee's like, "Are you going to let me out too?" And so he aims the gun at him and says, "Yeah," and disintegrates him. So he killed Daddy. I'm just saying, I'm calling Jacques Daddy Snee. He's dead. He is disintegrated into a million particles. So I'm telling you, this episode got real quickly. It's a mess. It is a mess. So yeah, so Jacques Snee is dead. We don't know if Yang is alive. Unfortunately, when we used the staff in the last episode, we forgot to tell our lovely genie of the staff exact verbiage, because the exact verbiage they used was a one-way ticket to Mouse Cove. So now nobody can leave to go back because he only made it a one-way trip. So they're just trapped through the seal now. So that means Oscar and Ren and Emerald cannot go back to help anyone fight because they can't get through the portal. And now they're in a world, a sandy world, where basically all of these Grimm are coming to attack them and the people that they've saved or have evacuated. This is horrible. This is really bad. It is really bad. I was so in my feelings this morning because of what happened with Yashahime. And then I went right into this and I'm like, why? Why? Oh God. I will say Cinder's reaction to seeing Emerald in the group was interesting. She kind of paused for a second and was like, oh. So I kind of feel like she either is more mad or pretty much just like accepted the fact that Emerald's a traitor, at least to her. But guys, even with all of this stuff happening with Cinder and all this stuff happening with Neo and, Ironwood, who, by the way, Ironwood challenged my girl Winter to the death, basically. He even told her, "I'm going to give you one last order, and that's to step aside." And she's like, "I've never backed down from enemies of this kingdom, and I'm not going to start now because that's my girl Winter." So Winter either is going to defeat Ironwood or she may be going down fighting. And I feel very sad for Weiss. I know there's no real love lost if the father died, even though she did tell Winter to move him. There's some Brandon that is your dad. I don't like my dad, but I wouldn't want somebody to disintegrate him either. So she's already lost her father, but she loves her sister. And if Winter gets killed by Ironwood, I don't know what's I think I'm gonna jump in there and beat the hell out of him because I love Winter. So I'm gonna have problems if Winter dies. But this episode, I am in my feelings. I am in my feelings. The only death I really wanted was Harriet's. Oh my gosh. And she'll probably be the one termite to not die in this. And that's going to make me so angry. Everybody else will die but her. Vine will die, Elm will die, Mara will die, everybody will die. And Harriet with the last heifer standing. I'll be so upset. All this because she's mad about Crow's death and blaming, Clover's death and blaming Crow and blaming the world and just being a bitch. So, guys. So as it stands, we've got our standoff. Just to count it down, we have Ironwood versus Winter. We have RWBY versus Neo. We have Weiss and Penny versus Cinder. We have Blake trying to figure out who she's versing. We have Yang, who's lost. We have Robin chasing down Harriet, with Vine still hanging on for dear life. We have Emerald, we have John, we have Ren, and we have Oscar against the Grimms because they're trapped now, can't get out, and they're basically trapped in a Grimm world. So that's insane. And then we still literally have the overall threat of Salem coming back, which we can't get to because all this other backstabbing and fuckery is happening. So, guys, my main question is this. I saw May. I'm pretty sure I saw May. Why aren't any of the other huntsmen and semblance users helping in this fight? I mean, eventually you need to be like, hey, this is our safety too. I know we're evacuating people, but maybe we also need to fight because it can't just be Team RWBY trying to hold off Cinder and Neo while, everybody else is just kind of watching like spectators. I think that's a problem. So, but yeah, this is crazy. And, I don't know who's going to be worthy. I guess whoever they consider is worthy is the one that survives this. And I guess if Yang is actually dead, which I doubt, then she's not worthy. This is very interesting. I want to know what you guys think. This is my review. It's crazy. This episode was crazy. But what did you think? Leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for jury duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next in their bell, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys.
Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, but hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.